Haven't had to do a solo setup in a minute where I just transitioned to myself. It's normally Colty's here. But Colton will be here shortly. Wanted to go live before he got home from work. Just to preface, hello everybody. Good evening. Um yeah, dude, Mariners are in a funky spot, guys. They're in a funky dunky spot. Everyone who was here at the beginning, hello by the way. What's up? Little scheduling live makes it so you guys get here like right on time. Jonathan, Brandon, Mac, Supersonic, Rob, Adis, Chris, AJ, Prima, Seattle area responses, Chris, Yoshi, Ian, what's good? Dumb Lego guy, the DLG in the building, Secular, Manny, banger tweet, Daydara, by the way. Mike Ford to the moon, Donatello, obviously. Onzilla, welcome back. Tommy Listella, please no. Vernon, yo, Siege, Dingus, Shambles, Zabel, Yuri, Buddy, Chad, touching bases, Chad. Yeah. Hello. Hello, everybody. Steamboat, Roto. We're the joke of the MLB. I think there's a couple teams below us in the pecking order, or like they're further, like there's more teams that are jokes, but yeah, it's been Colton. Yeah, it's been a rough off season as far as trying to stake a claim, not be laughed at, but I get you. Looks like we're gonna be stuck with Rayleigh at first all next year. Rayleigh and Locklear to the moon, boys. To the moon. Got used to do YouTube, just realized that's the username. No worries, bro. No worries. Rip Ricky, yeah, dude. Big rip. What just out of nowhere. Sad. Very, very sad. Rough, more like okay. I'm not gonna go that far, Frodo. I'm not gonna go that far. Marlins, true. Seeing the notifications made you want to smash your phone? Jeez. I'm sorry, dog. I am sorry. Yeah, Colton was hot. Colton was hot earlier. And I'm not sure how hot that's going to stay by the time he gets here. But he should be here soon-ish. I will say, prefacing it now, maybe a little after dark in the sense of there might be some expletives. So if you're not in here for the maybe like the 10 out of 10 rage bait Colty's about to come on and perform with some foul language, when he gets here, just know that's probably going to happen a little bit. So just going to throw that out there now. That's why I got on here a little bit earlier before he did. So that way we're not just coming out and throwing F-bombs at you. So just in case, you never know. Perry Hill's got to get to work with Rayleigh. I mean, hey, if anyone can do it, it's Perry. Perry the GOAT. Okay, Ethan, pause. Relax. What will be Richard Depota's excuse for missing out on first base or Roki? What will be richer? I think Roki's got like a legit, not like an excuse, but the teams in which you're competing with, like Dodgers, Padres, maybe Yankees if they're still involved there. Like, there are teams in there that should beat the Mariners out for Roki. Trading for Naylor, like, the Mariners should have been able to match that trade package of Slade, Ciccone, or however the hell you pronounce it, and their comp B pick. They should have been able to match that very easily. I think it was Joe Doyle. He quoted the passing bomb and just kind of said, the Guardians must have really liked what they've seen out of Slade because, or, like what they're getting with him. Obviously, he's a young reliever, first round pick, I believe, controllable until 2030 or 2031. So, like, he hasn't done well in the big so far, but the Guardians pitching lab, it's in the top 5 in baseball for a reason. Like, they're good at developing pitching as well. So maybe they really like what Ciccone offers and they can fix him, we can fix him. Kind of what the Mariners do with the pile. That would be my best guess. So, if Colton throws some words, would we get demonetized? Probably not. We haven't been demonetized for like content like that in the past, so I don't imagine so. Cleveland also can't seem to re-sign Naylor, so sell low on that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that trade package wasn't anything. I mean, the Mariners also have a comp pick that they could trade if they wanted to, and they have pitching to trade from to the Guardians if they wanted to. It's maybe just the Guardians fancied Ciccone in that sense, but Rocky's not coming here. Jerry can't get Naylor for nothing. Then we have zero chance at Roki. I don't know. I don't know where the Roki stuff is at with the big MLB scoops drop yesterday. With the 5 teams and one of them being the White Sox and not the Mariners. It was just kind of like, ooh, yikers. Sour vanilla smooches, bro. Every other team's getting better and making moves. We aren't doing shite. Even the A's and Angels are polishing a turd. Hey man, polishing a turd. Yeah, it's been rough goes for the first 2 months of the offseason, basically. This is a joke at this point. Yep. We are definitely laughing it up. Brandon Drury plays third, second, and first. Get him on the team. Get him on the team. If I'm Logan or George, I demand a trade. I think, like, for the pitchers, I mean, they're in a pitcher's paradise. Seattle is the best ballpark to pitch in the entire sport. If I'm one of them, I'm probably not demanding a trade until the middle of the season, obviously, depending on where the team is at. If a pitcher were to, it's not going to be until the middle of the season, like when you can have your really good first half and like show teams like, hey, I'm that guy. But at least we can laugh at the White Sox. Supersonic. The White Sox got dropped in the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes as one of the 5 finalists. So look who's laughing now. Look who's laughing now. How about Ichiro at first? John Ewing. I appreciate where your head's at. Maybe Edgar unretires as well. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Bring back 95. Bring back 01. Be perfect. No, Daydara. We're not getting Toro. I responded to them on the Mariner Mojo Twitter account. Marine Layers post about how Abe Toro liked their Instagram post. And I just said, honestly, this is bull. And I hope they don't mean that, like, I'm saying that their post is BS or, like, the whatever's BS. It's just because Abraham Toro, like, honest bull. That's what I was going for. But I don't think that resonated because that tweet hasn't been liked yet. So it maybe missed the mark a little bit. Luigi at third. Stop it. Stop it. Mariners, buddy. Locklear, 30 homer season. I'll take whatever Kool-Aid. I'll drink it. Why not? Ethan, Adam Lind is not coming back. Is not coming back. We have Oddyear Garver. Mara, yes. another Kool-Aid pitcher that I will gladly partake in. Oddyear Garver. So I pissed off Lyle and TJ. Maybe I pissed off Lyle and TJ. Maybe I did. But who knows? I wasn't intentionally calling their post BS. I just honestly, this is bull because Abraham Toro's the honest bull, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Lomo's making a comeback. Daeho Lee, Supersonic can play first base. All right. There aren't any movements by the end of this year. What is the Mariners' plan to surprise us? Dude, I don't know. The pace of this offseason is just so confusing compared to years prior. And I don't know why. I really have no pulse on it. The only thing that can make sense is if they think that they can sign Roki Sasaki, and then that kind of shapes the rest of what they do. But that won't happen until January 15th, I believe. So it's like, I don't know. Chat, are we cooked? We might be cooked, Wang Chung. We might be cooked. Has either Kim signed? No, Ethan. And there hasn't been like any like movement, it feels like. There hasn't been like any like, oh, this team has reached out to, like, they're talking. Like, I feel like by this point in the offseason, there's like rumblings of like certain free agent things. Like the Santana to Cleveland thing, we've been cooked fair. The Santana to Cleveland thing obviously came out of necessity, or they made that idea, that signing happen because they traded Naylor. So they were able to make that move because they got someone to take Naylor, or they found a trade that they liked to trade Naylor, obviously, to the Diamondbacks. But like there wasn't any, I don't think there was any notion that Cleveland was interested in Santana before that, right? Like I don't know. The whole Goldschmidt signing with the Yankees, the Mariners were interested. Like, yeah, the Mariners are interested in any first baseman. They just have whiffed or got outbid, or there's just not enough money. Like Goldschmidt getting 12.5 and Carlos Santana getting only $500,000 less, like getting 12. Like that's a very nice 1-year deal for Carlos Santana. Had a great year. Like he's aged like fine wine, truly. Carlos Santana has, and Goldschmidt's coming off a down year. But the fact that, Goldschmidt's 2 years removed from an MVP, and he's only getting $500,000 more than Carlos Santana, that's kind of crazy in my head. Like, I would have penciled in Santana for 10 and be like, yeah, that's okay. But 12? If they get Pete Alonso, you're furious? What's wrong with the polar bear in Seattle? Ty France is available, Cody. Ty France is still a free agent. He is still available. Trade Kirby, Young, and Ford to the O's for Holiday and Westberg. That's a big trade, Frodo. That is a big trade. Payroll's less than the rebuild. They're straight up cheap. True, dude. BC, hello. Enjoy the Dodgers and their ownership that just keeps on giving. Hello, BC. Hello. I have signed a 4-year, $200,000 deal with the Seattle Mariners to play third base. Honestly, I'm in. Is there a signing bonus? Is there any guaranteed money in this deal? Dornizzle, let me know. Let me know. You'll get Andrew Vaughn and you will like it? I don't know if Vaughn's the guy that I want, truly. Zadar, that's true. You were there. Well, hold on. Why is Colton getting $1 million? And I'm getting $50K? What's the big idea? Why is Colton getting $1 million? That's unbelievable. 4 Seattle Dogs and 2 Rainier Beer signing bonus. Can I switch those? I'm gonna try, and I think I'm gonna need the beers more than I need the dogs to figure out where my life's at if I am getting that as a signing bonus. Do you think we're hesitant to trade Harry Ford because he's Garver insurance? What's the guy that we just claimed? Nick Raposo? Sorry, Austin, I missed your message. Loki, check it in. Do you get an MVP yet, bud? MVP of the stream right there. Loki checking in. Can you set up a clone behind me so I don't get killed? Thanks. Ladder Guy has signed a 14-year, $766 million deal. New MLB Road to the Show character, Ladder Guy, coming at you. Yeah, the Garver insurance, Harry Ford. It's less of Garver insurance and more like the lack of, I think, quality depth at the catching position within the organization. And the fact that he's still a top 5 prospect in the system pretty safely. Unless you're just baseball and Aram Layton. Oh, I don't know if that's his last name. I feel like that's not his last name. Whatever. Aram from the Just Baseball Media Boys. I think they posted their top 15 like Mariners prospects, and Harry Ford was like 8th or something like that. Bro, nobody is shouting about Jacob Nottingham other than you, Daydara. Other than you. Sometimes you forget Ben Gamble and Taylor Motter are different people. Have you ever seen them in the same room? Probably. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. And I'll be very curious to see when and if the first move, like if we're happy about it. Because like Turner, I'm not mad at the Turner reunion. I'm not mad that they didn't pay Carlos Santana $12 million. Because that's not really worth it given what they've said their budget is, or what we've been told their budget is of $16 million. But the trade for Naylor And it's in that same vein of he was making 14. That cuts into your entire budget essentially. It's just that would have been a good get for the price that the Diamondbacks paid. Can we say hi to Colton? Dumb Lego guy. Colton will be here shortly. He will be here very shortly. He said 10 minutes. I'm not sure how many minutes ago that was. But I'll be there in 10. I can't see how old that was. I'm emotional. But I'm no longer emotional because John Drummond, $20 holla. Thank you, Mariner Mojo team. Have a safe and wonderful Xmas. May the ghosts of Xmas present, past, and future haunt Mr. Stanton when he awakes on Christmas Day. John Drummond, goated $20 super chat. I appreciate that very, very much. I know Colton will as well. Yeah, I mean, if that's the vibes that we want to try and manifest, I'm in. I'm in. Let's send all of those to John Stanton immediately. Shouts to Ricky Henderson. Rip, dude. Big rip. That's like caught me off guard this morning. I was like, what? Like, how does what's going on? What is this? Where's not Colton? You know, Mr. Creed Bratton. It's funny that you say that. Don't want to pull back the curtain too much, but not Colton may be making an appearance before the end of the year. All right? Before the end of the year. So let's just keep it like that. Stanton is the Mariners' Scrooge. He might be worse, bro. He might be worse. Yo, who said that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Jim Strayling. Thank you, M's ownership, for handcuffing the front office. What an effing mess. Probably could have signed Santana if we offered a 2-year deal. Interesting. You think like 2 years, 20 million gets it done instead of the 12 that he got? Maybe. It's just like that money, and they could they have backloaded it and then decline Garver's option the following year? The 2-year contract could have cooked, but I think he just wanted to go back to Cleveland based on how quick that move happened. Like that felt like a premeditated decision that he wanted to go back to Cleveland. Santana gets 3 years, 60 million. Is he Christian Walker? Is he Christian Walker? Flying elbow at throw it up. What's the Mariners doing right now? Looking for trades or sipping on hot chocolate in their $1 million mansion? They're probably in Leavenworth, kicking their feet back with some hot chocolate, dude. That's got to be it, Mark. That's got to be it. Sign Glaber, 1 year, 16. Just send in the Glaber, please. No, for me, no. I don't want a Glaber day in Seattle for 16 mil. Can we pass out sell shirts and let Stanton know how we feel so maybe he gets a clue? The hard part is, Secular, I don't think it's like a terrible idea, but like watching what happened in Oakland, even with the sell stuff that was going on, and I don't know if it's super equivalent because like there's still people going to the games and stuff. If that's like a look into the future, say like 5-10 years from now, like I don't necessarily want that because then they get relocated. You know what I mean? But what's Adam Frazier up to? Too busy slapping his guys, you guys ready to say hi to Colton or what? We saying hi to Colty yet? I think we are. Speak. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Hey guys. Hey. Why is it the brightest light in the history of lights?
Don't worry, no one can see you yet.
Alright.
Oh, slapped in my Slapton.
Oh, slapped in my Slapton. We're bringing back Adam Frazier. Holy mother of pearl.
No, he's not naked. He's just setting up, guys. He's just setting up.
Alright, I'm good.
You look great.
Slade Ciccone sucks.
Well,
he's so bad.
Yeah, he's not great.
He's horrible. he's so... It's hard to understate how bad Slade Ciccone is.
I was surprised when I looked at his reference page and I saw negative WAR. Negative 1.1. Yeah.
A literal 6.66 ERA. How do you feel about that?
Hold on. I feel who is this locked on Mariners
Who?
coming in here saying you suck in chat? That's crazy.
Oh my god.
If that's Ty on that account,
There's no shot. That's Colby for sure.
if it's Ty on that account, I was in his Marvel Rivals stream earlier talking to him. I broke the Naylor to Naylor to Diamondbacks news in his stream. If it is him, if not, then hi Colby.
Colby, you smell. Anyway, let's talk about this really quick, Joe, because I have some thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
The Carlos Santana thing. Okay, I get it. Like it's fine. The fact that he got paid what $12.5 million or whatever it was. Sure, yeah, the Mariners were probably never going to go there.
Yeah.
$12.5 million leaves you with $4 million in the budget. Yeah, I mean, was Carlos Santana worth $12.5 million last year? Maybe. Like, I think, won a Gold Glove. Like, obviously had one of the better years of his career. Not being in on the Josh Naylor trade is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And Jerry DiPoto should be ashamed. And the whole front office should be ashamed of themselves. Jack M with the $2 super chat. Hey fellas, I want them to sign both Kims. I don't know if I'll take both, but I'll take one. And I think I would rather have Ha-Sung Kim than Hai-Sung Kim, but I'm kind of in on either.
Yeah.
Appreciate that $2, Jack. Means a lot. Also appreciate the 20 earlier. Who's that from? That's from John?
John Drummond.
John, legend. Appreciate the 20 from earlier, John. Also, stick around, chat. We do have an announcement coming up here, potentially at the end of the stream here. Frodo, yes, there is a team store down there in spring training. There is. Not being in on the Naylor trade, like I heard you talk about it a little bit at the start of the stream, and you said that the Mariners could have matched that easily. Like the Ciccone and Comp Round B. The Mariners could have passed that and not even thought twice about it. Emerson Hancock, in my opinion, better than Slade Ciccone. Way better than Slade Ciccone, in my opinion. Slade Ciccone, I'm looking at his Savant page. It is awful. He just doesn't walk a lot of guys. That's the only thing he does right. That's the only thing he does right. Locked on Mariner Mojo. That's crazy. It's true. That's happening. Chat. Yeah.
It's confirmed. We got leaks in the chat. Send in your eyeball. Send in your eyeball emojis right now.
But I looked through like Slade Ciccone's career just as a whole. He's ass, bro. He's so bad. Like I don't understand. He had a 3.06 ERA in Reno last year. His WHIP was over 1, but like otherwise. I don't know. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. Obviously, last year he started 13 games of his 20, so he can start for you. In my opinion, Emerson Hancock's better. He's put up better numbers at the major leagues. He is a starter. He's a guy that they probably could use in that rotation, although they did just get Luis Ortiz, of course. But who knows when Shane Bieber's going to be good to go. Tristan McKenzie's like, who knows? The Mariners could have gone. They could have gone Emerson Hancock. And in my opinion, that possibly could have gotten it done. But if you would have went Emerson Hancock and the Comp Round A pick, it would have taken more. They would have had to have given you more than Josh Naylor. They maybe would have had to have taken on some of that or taken down some of that contract. In which case,
that should have been the thing that they do.
That should have happened.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That should have been something that if the Mariners would have just the most similar trade I could think of is Emerson Hancock and Comp Round A, and the Guardians take that contract down from what is it, 14 million?
Yeah, take it down to 10. Take it down to 10.
Take it down to 10. Take it down to 9, something like that. Because that's not what you're gonna end up paying for Justin Turner now. If you think you're gonna go out and sign Justin Turner, which you're probably not at this point. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. That you're gonna be able to go out there and sign Justin Turner. You're an idiot. Yeah, you're stupid. Like this is the first time in a long time that I have looked at something that's going on with this team right now, and I say. Specifically the Naylor trade. That is not only on John Stanton.
No.
That is on Jerry DiPoto. That is on Justin Hollander. If they can't get their heads out of their butts long enough to go out and make a trade like this for a literal... He's not going to be like, the best player on the team, but he is going to be a game changer for you in that lineup. He's been in the middle of lineups when it comes to being in the postseason. He is a certified, baller who doesn't strike out a lot. I don't know. I don't get it. I understand not re-signing Carlos Santana there. We've also seen, of course, we saw Paul Goldschmidt signed today. Christian Walker's been signed.
Mm-hmm.
You're running out of options. Like, you have Justin Turner and then a bunch of guys who I would rather just run Luke Raley out there every single day, even against lefties. It just makes no sense.
A couple things. So I was just surprised that Santana's 12 when Goldschmidt got 12 and a half. Like,
Yeah.
that feels like a steep cost for Santana given what Goldschmidt got. So yeah, someone said earlier if they would have done like a 2-year deal, does it go to 2 years 20? Would I have done that? Maybe. And then you decline Garver's option the next year. Like, it's possible that like something like that could have worked out.
Right.
Turner, like, yeah, it's like, if you think you're getting him for less than 10 after Santana just signed for 12, like, it would have to take Turner to have really loved his 40-ish games or however many he played in Seattle to like really make a big difference. Like, it would have to make a big difference for him. Whether or not Hancock in the comp A pick is comparable to Ciccone in the comp round B pick, whatever, like, I think that's probably a better trade in general. The thing is, and it's what I said this earlier, it's what Joe Doyle said, is like, the Guardians must have really liked what they've seen in some sort of underlying data, things that they identify that they like to target for their pitching in Slade Ciccone, not just numbers wise. I know you're looking at a 6.6 whatever ERA, a negative WAR.
6.66.
Whoa, pause.
Yeah.
But like, Hancock was also a negative WAR pitcher last year too, right? And I don't know, so Ciccone's club control until 2031. Is Hancock the same? Is he 2031 or is he 2030?
He should be 2031 as well. I mean, he has 15 games in the big leagues. I mean,
Yeah.
Ciccone has 27. Like, Ciccone's been in the big leagues longer, so Hancock theoretically should have more opportunity, but I don't know. I mean, maybe he has more control, but I'm looking right now at Baseball Reference, or no, I'm sorry, Baseball Savant.
Bubbles.
And you look at Slade Ciccone, and it's like, I just don't even 2023, the only thing he was good at was not walking guys. 2024, only thing he was good at was not walking guys. That's the only thing that he does well.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what they would have seen out of his numbers and said, yeah, that's pretty good. Like, I look at Hancock's numbers, they're not great either.
Yeah.
But we know that Hancock has decent stuff. And you know what? The best thing he's best at as well, not walking people. Whoa! What a crazy idea.
Stuff plus.
Yeah,
it's hard because, like, I agree with you that even if you go Hancock comp A and they're like, okay, we'll give you Naylor straight up, and you're like, we kind of need some of the money to come down. What is holding you back from throwing in a prospect that they like or something that they like that allows you to take $4-5 million off of Naylor's $14 million for next year and allow you to then have a little bit more wiggle room? Like, if you can't pull that trade off and you can't somehow persuade the Guardians, like, hey, this is a better offer, like, this is what you want, it's just like, it's silly. It's just, yeah,
I agree. I think that when I look at this trade, one of 3, maybe one of 4 things went down. The Mariners offered a similar trade, right? And the Guardians said no. Maybe they don't like Emerson Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
The Guardians said, hey, this is the trade they're offering. You know, will you offer something similar? And the Mariners said no.
Yeah, like, you want to match.
Or B, the Mariners never even offered it. Like this contract, like, there was never a formal offer put on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing. The Mariners and Guardians never even got that far. In which case, that's malpractice on the front office.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that the Guardian, like, in terms of them eating money and whatnot, it's pretty clear that they are trying to cut payroll. Like, I mean, they have cut so much payroll already this offseason. And then they go out there and sign freaking Santana for 12. So, like, whatever. But it's like they obviously the Andres Jimenez thing. Mm-hmm. They went out there and now have traded Josh Naylor. Like, they're cutting payrolls. I don't know how much that payroll they would have taken down, but I'm in shambles. I'm legit in shambles. Who was it? It was, oh gosh, I can't remember what the tweet was now. It was something from Ben. I think it was Ben Ranieri who said it was something about how the Mariners are so far down to, like, their last few people that they could possibly go out and get, because Spencer Steer sucks. Don't go trade for Spencer Steer. He's terrible. I think that Justin Turner's the guy. And if it's not Justin Turner, you roll in next year with Luke Raley and you roll into next year with Tyler Locklear.
Yeah.
Locklear has to start. He has to. Like, I think that like he has to start versus lefties and Luke Raley has to start versus righties. You have to know what you're getting out of Tyler Locklear. And then you have to know if Luke Raley is going to continue to crush righties and maybe even throw him in against a lefty once in a while. And then you have to go out there and crush it at either second or third, preferably both, and get guys that are going to make this lineup better because this lineup is terrible.
I think if you wanted to, I mean, if they run out of options at first base, right? If they run out of options there, and they think that they can find a trade that they like early in the year of like a team that just like not like a Luis Arise, like, but a team that's probably not in it that's gonna shop someone that early, like how the Marlins did to the Padres last year. I could see that working if they just want to try Locklear for the first like month and a half. Doesn't work, then you make a trade to then fill out that spot. It's just like waiting around for so long to do that. It's just setting themselves up to like have a slow start again. It seems like it just, I don't understand why they can't get something done. Because in the years past, they've gotten things done. They've like got the ball rolling. They've like made moves happen. And whether that's good or bad, I mean, you look at last offseason, like there was like the double trade day with the Giants and the Rays. The Haniger, Robbie Ray, DeSclafani trade like ends up being a wash. I would consider it a wash. Mariners saved money in it long term, but like, nothing good has come out of that trade necessarily. The Raley and Caballero trade that happened on the same day. And Raley for Caballero, I mean, it seems like a win-ish for both sides. Like, Raley was great for the Mariners last year. Caballero was good for the Rays. Maybe not as good as Raley's for the Mariners, but, like, still, like, provided as much as he probably could have for Tampa Bay last year. I don't know. I just don't know why they're waiting or what they're waiting for them. Like, something's just going to fall in their lap, as you like to put it. They're going to come hat in hand or whatever, as was Mather used to say that. Like, it's just not happening. And I don't know why we're anticipating that being the case. Like, what is giving them any inclination that there's going to be players lining up or teams desperately trying to trade with Seattle? I mean, someone said it. The chat's moved a little bit, but someone said it. Like, maybe, I think it was Scott Barden. Oh, I might have just cooked by pulling that name out. I may be wrong, though. It was purple. Doesn't matter. Maybe they're tired of they're just tired of Jerry and Justin calling them all the time. Like, maybe like their pulse and their like ability to have those connections within the league are starting to falter just because there's nothing that they need from Seattle. And if it's like a prospect farm thing that they don't like value it, like, I don't know how you could look at the Mariners prospect system and not be like, yeah, there's a lot of good talent in there that they could trade from. And then if it's Seattle like overvaluing them and not really like wanting to trade them, it's like, okay, why are you prospect hugging at a time where you know where your window's at, you know where this pitching staff's at, like, you know the time is now to strike and make your push to have a chance to win the AL West in 2025. The Astros are stepping back slightly, more like a diagonal step back with Paredes and Walker. It's not nearly as good as Bregman and Tucker. You look at their outfield of Yordan, Chas McCormick, and Jake Myers.
Their outfield's terrible.
It's an awful outfield. Yes, it can be carried by Yordan having an MVP type season or Altuve. Yeah, of course, offensively. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Their outfield is atrocious, like from a overall standpoint. Everyone else in the division, like, I'm not overly worried about them. If the Rangers are still trying to shop Nathaniel Lowe for whatever reason, because they think they've got something with Jake Berger, like, good luck defensively there. Like, Nathaniel Lowe, I feel like, is a much better option at first base for them from, like, a stability standpoint. And I saw someone say, like, I think it was Ian. I don't know if it's the same Ian, if there's two Ians. Lucario, member for 20 months. Crazy. Left-handed hitting first baseman. Like, that's why Naylor was not a, like, whatever. I don't think that matters at this point. We need something. We need like stability. Whether or not, like, against righties, whoever that is can DH. That left-handed hitter can DH. And if it's a more I guess I don't know Naylor splits off the top of my head. I don't know Lamont Wade Jr. splits off the top of my head. I don't know Nathaniel Lowe's splits. I don't think we get him in a trade because it's within the division, but that's not the point. Like a left-handed hitting first baseman, I don't think is going to stop them from making that move because you just have the other one DH against righties, and then you sit one of them against lefties and just play whichever one's the hotter hand or play whichever one you think gives you the better option, right? Like I think the handedness is not pertinent to this situation, mainly because they don't have any choice. Like they have waited so long, they've held on to their money or whatever for so long that they've exhausted their options to have a right-handed first baseman come in and be a platoon with Rayleigh. That's not like Donovan Solano. I think is one that I could see happening still. I don't think he's been signed
already.
If he's been signed, I'd be shocked. I don't think he has. If he has, news to me.
All right, keep talking.
And then Pete Alonso, too expensive. That's just not going to happen unless the Mariners blow their budget doors off the building. Yandy Diaz, sure. Yandy Diaz isn't like a bad idea. What's it going to cost? You'd probably have to give up more for him, or probably a little bit more for him than Naylor because of the control, right? Like Diaz has got another year after this one.
Let me look. I think you're right. All right, man. I think it's an option year.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's like a club option that he has after this. And I think it's for another like 10 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah. So 10 or 10 million this year, a $12 million club option in 2026. However, there is no buyout for that, so I don't know if that means that they can't buy him out of that option. But it's a club option, so who cares? It's a club option. There's no such thing as no buyout for a club option. So if the club was to decline it, then yeah, they would have to pay him that $12 million. Otherwise, yeah, $12 million is what you'd be paying Yadi Diaz next year.
Which is, I mean, paying that to Carlos Santana, paying that to Yandy Diaz, like paying that to Paul Goldschmidt, like I don't care. I don't care at this point. Austin Jackson, love my boys, MVP right there. Not SVP right now. That's MVP right there.
That's MVP.
Yeah.
I think that if the Mariners were next year in 2025 to run a first base platoon of Rayleigh and Locklear, I'd be fine with that.
You just have to make sure they do everything in their power to make third and second amazing.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think that you need to know what you have with Tyler Locklear. You have to. And you're getting to that point where as a team, you have to start graduating these players to the big leagues. Cole Young, Locklear, Bliss, etc. And you don't know what you have if you don't play them. And sure, you can use them in trades to go out there and get guys who you hope those guys can become. But Tyler Locklear could be another 20 home run, hits 260 a year, puts up like a 109, 115, somewhere in there, like WRC plus. Sure, that's great. That's fine. And if you have him platooning with Luke Rayleigh and Rayleigh puts up a similar season to that he did in 2024, that's a great first base platoon. That's fantastic. That's better than you probably would have gotten out of, maybe not Carlos Santana, but that you would have gotten out of Justin Turner or out of maybe even Josh. I don't know, maybe not Josh Naylor, but I think that I have a similar. I have a similar feel with Ryan Bliss at second base. We've seen him a little bit more. A. And B, you are running out of so many options over at third base. I don't think it matters. Like, I think that you could go out there and trade for Alec Boehm still, although the Phillies are stupid and they think that, everyone is going to try to trade Babe Ruth for Alec Boehm.
Yeah, the moon.
I think that if you were to give a starting job, or at least a platoon job, to Locklear and Bliss to start the year, I don't think that's the worst idea, simply because you do need to see what you have with those guys, but you better hope and pray that Julio is back to normal, that Cal continues to do what he did, that JP is better, that Victor continues to be good, that Randy Rosarena. The problem with what the Mariners are doing is that they are banking on so many things going right, and that is something that they have done time and time again, and most of the time they're shit out of luck when that happens, just plain and simple. And So you can't just bank on all these things going right. You need to have contingencies. You need to have backup plans. And the Mariners, frankly, don't have that right now.
Anzilla, if Cole Young's starting opening day, a sentence Colton normally runs to in these situations is the Mariners failed the offseason if
Correct.
Cole Young is starting on opening day. Because there's options to make it not necessary unless Cole Young plays his way into that spot. Like, he needs to hit 500 in spring training. Like, he will need to show that he is the literal greatest baseball player in Peoria for that to take place. If nothing happens, like Austin Shenton starting third base opening day, or I mean, it's gonna be a righty. It's gonna be Severino. So Austin Shenton starting third baseman.
Yeah, I mean, what's your depth chart right now? It's Shenton at third. I mean, you have
Moore and Bliss at second.
Start at second, whichever one you feel is better at the time.
Yeah.
JP at short. You have Rayleigh at first. I mean, Jesus Christ, I think it's your DH. I don't even know. Like, is it Mitch Haniger? Is it Mitch Garver? They both suck.
I think it's like, I think Roster Resource has Haniger listed. And if stream crashes, y'all already know. You guys already know what happened. Roster Resource lineup as it stands right now. Robles leading off. Julio batting second. Cal batting third. Randy batting four. Rayleigh batting five. Haniger DHing batting at sixth. JP playing short, batting seven. Dylan Moore at third, batting eighth. Ryan Bliss batting nine with the bench of Garver, Locklear, Shenton, and Dom Canzone. Mama, that's what you read in your hand? Are you drinking?
Yeah, keep reading that lineup back.
Yeah, just run it over again.
It's an extension at work.
Okay. That sounds so awful. Yeah, it's not great, Spencer. Not great.
I think what is hard right now is people are saying the Mariners, they're basically forcing a Luis Castillo trade. This is the tweet that was from Ben Ranieri. I think it was Ben. It might have been Jage. If the Mariners were to trade Luis Castillo and save $22 to $24 million, what the hell are they going to spend it on? Because all the free agents are gone that you can spend that stuff on. And also, you're not spending money right now. What gives us the faith that you're going to use that money to do anything other than to line John Stanton's pockets? And it's literally nothing. There is nothing that tells me that you're going to use that money that you save if you were to trade Luis Castillo to not line John Stanton's pockets, because that is what this organization does year in and year out. And if they use it to go out and sign someone who very clearly sucks, like, I think that not signing Christian Walker was the right move, personally. I would have loved it, but also it just doesn't fit this ballpark. Same with Paul Goldschmidt. But they're like, Josh Naylor fits this ballpark really well. Mm-hmm. That's a guy who would, but at the same time, you probably need a first baseman over there or a right-hander over there at first base, not a lefty. But I do not foresee this team, if they were to trade Luis Castillo, using that money for anything of actual relevance to this team to make this team better in 2025. Maybe they use it to extend a pitcher, and I'm okay, sure, cool, that's fine.
And then just trade him in a year and a half time.
Yeah, exactly. I do not see a world where any of this makes sense, and that is the problem with what the Seattle Mariners are doing right now. And again, this time last year, nothing had happened yet either, at least positively, in terms of making this team better.
Yeah.
This team was way worse this time last year than it currently is, because they had just traded Gino. They had traded, obviously, Kelnick and Marco and Evan White, etc. And we're still a couple days away from when they signed Mitch Garver, which is what really set the offseason going in the right direction. But if we get to opening day and Austin Shenton is your third baseman and Ryan Bliss and Dylan Moore your second baseman, it's a failed offseason, and frankly, it is unacceptable as Mariners fans.
So looking at if they do trade Castillo, what are they going to do with that money? There's two position players in the free agent pool right now that you'd spend that money on. Whether or not it gets done, like in a hypothetical world, that money's either going to Alex Bregman or it's going to Pete Alonso. Truthfully, like Alonso's the last one left of the first baseman that are really worth it. I saw someone say, sign Donovan Solano for $3 million as like depth, which I don't hate. I like Donovan Solano. I was saying it last year that I wanted Donovan Solano, but like that's not the big needle moving thing. If you get Bregman, then you sign Donovan Solano. That's fine. That's perfectly fine with me. It's just, what are you going to get? Like, how are you going to persuade Alex Bregman? Unless you're not going to offer more money than everybody else so far. Lucario, appreciate the 2. There was your Umbreon. What amount of money is it going to cost to sign Bregman or Alonso? Like, you save, say, like $20 million, and then you're working with $36 million. Are you like, how much are you giving an annual average to Pete Alonso or Alex Bregman? Stop laughing at Luis Arise, okay, or Araz.
I was actually laughing at your dryer being done.
Could you hear the ding, 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 ding?
How much am I offering them?
Yeah, like annual average. What's the contract like for Bregman? If we do trade Castillo and then you get, say, $40 million to play with.
Bregman's going to want 30 a year. And to come here, he's going to want 32 or 33.
So like 7 to 20?
Sure.
Or is that too much? Like,
that's too much. No,
that's way too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Alex Bregman is a Crawford box merchant. I'm good.
Okay. So then Pete Alonso, even though, yeah, sure, Crawford box merchant aside, doesn't strike out a lot, championship pedigree, plays the position of need the most. Like, I don't think he wouldn't have as much offensive success, but I still think he would be worth the attempt. Would he get booed in his first at bat? Maybe.
Yes.
Probably. But I think Lyle and TJ have said this on Marine Layer. Eventually people would get over the fact if he's winning you ball games.
Yep.
Like,
that is true.
I might be at that point. I don't know if I want to commit to that, but I'd rather
commit to it right now.
I'd rather give Bregman money than give Pete Alonso money, strictly on the position that they play.
Interesting.
Because Bregman is more valuable to this team than Alonso will be, just based on the position alone. You can get better, not like better value, but you can get better value for someone at first base for $5, $8, $10 million than you can at third or second. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just think that it would cost less to sign Pete Alonso.
Oh, of course.
He's going to want 25 a year,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's an option that's very attractive to the Mariners, is wanting, $5 to $7 million less. I think that if the Mariners were to offer a contract like that to Pete Alonso, like if we were to hear that they offered that contract to them, great. You're not solving the core issue there with that kind of money, though, because all things considered, you have to pay the Seattle tax. It's true. Like, it's just, we can't act like the Seattle tax doesn't exist anymore, because the Mariners have to spend more money to get guys to come here. It's just, unfortunately, that is the way that it is. And so if you're signing Bregman, like I said, 32, 33 million, you're signing Pete, I'd say you need to add $3 to $4 million more as well. At which point you might be coming up to nearly 30 million for Pete Alonso. At that point, if you were to sign one of those two guys, which would never happen, but if you were to sign, that's not how that works, Notorious fam.
Russell Branyan.
I'm in. If you were to sign either of those two guys, you are pigeonholing yourself into not being able to get better at the other positions of need, including now starting pitcher. And that's why I don't think that wrapping all that money up into one player is the right move. And I think that because the Mariners are currently only having $16 million to play with, I don't think that that's why they weren't willing to go into it with Josh Naylor.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, yeah, I'm not talking about actual state taxes, Notorious. I'm talking about having to come hit in the worst ballpark to hit in baseball, not state taxes. That's not how that works. It's an After Dark stream, and I'm getting ready to go After Dark. No. Yeah, it's I don't know. I think that if they were to trade those guys, I don't foresee it being worth their time or their money, in my opinion, to trade one of Castillo and then sign one of the other two. I just don't think it happens. I don't think it happens. I don't think they want to come here, and I don't blame them. Dude, if I was a hitter, I wouldn't come here, and that is why the Mariners have to go out there and make a trade, and that's why the Josh Naylor thing is so annoying, and that's why the Josh Naylor thing pisses me off so much. They need to go out there and make a trade, and they could have bested this trade 10 times over. That was traded to the Guardians, and the Mariners still could have been fine. But unfortunately, here we are.
Do you imagine if it was like 170 instead of like 150, 155, the payroll? Like, could you imagine? Like, just
team would actually be good.
The lack of headache that we would incur every single day talking about like what makes sense for this team to do. It would be nuts. It would be massive even.
Massive?
You know what else is massive? Sup, Notorious.
Austin, yes, that is what this is for. It's for getting ready to play Marvel Rivals after this. And dealing with this stupid frickin' franchise. I hate the Mariners. No, I was sitting there at work and I saw the trade. And I was like, what is it like to be a team that goes out there and actually cares about their fans and about winning and about making this team, this city, and in turn its fan base happy? What would it be like? Because unfortunately, the Seattle Mariners are stupid. And they don't care. They don't care what this team does. They don't care how well this team does as long as it puts butts in the seats. And I'll make a video later on this offseason about should you stop spending money on the Mariners. I don't think you should boycott games. I don't. I think that's stupid, personally. I think to each their own. And if that's how you want to show your disdain is boycotting games, then great. Don't ever think that I'm going to stop going to games because that is my favorite place to be. I'm not going to stop. It's the way it is. But I will also say in that same vein, I spent a lot less money on the Mariners in 2024 than I have in years.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I
don't know.
Do you think if the team was like last 2 years, well, okay, how about this? In like 3 years' time, say the team is like below 500. Do you find yourself going to less games? Like, say by like 2027, like the core has collapsed. They like the development plan hasn't gone well. Obviously, there would be new people in like charge of positions like Hobo, GM. Maybe Stanton has sold the team by then. Whatever. Maybe Dan's gone at that point. Like, say like by 2028, they're 72-90 by season's end. Going into 2029, like how many games do you think you'd go to?
I don't know. I mean, I went to less this year than I have in a few years. I mean, I didn't boycott it. I still went to upwards of like, I think I went to 18, 19 games. I flew down to Oakland for games. Obviously, I went to spring training. I'm literally going to Arizona to cover this team next year. I don't necessarily know what the number would be. I just know that the effect that this team has had on my desire to go do that stuff is crazy. I've said it multiple times over the past few months, but normally this time of year, I am itching to get back to the ballpark, go watch Mariners baseball. And up until, recently, I've kind of felt it a little bit more. You know what I mean? But also, just with the lack of movement, I don't care.
Not seeing enough movement.
I'm not seeing enough movement, I'm not. So I think that if that's the case, first of all, Mariner Mojo is probably dead.
No. Don't let Deidara win. Don't let Deidara win.
This team, it just sucks because, again, you and I have covered this team for 2 years now. I'm going down to spring training for a damn month to cover this team. I'm spending $5-6 grand out of my own pocket to go cover this godforsaken baseball team. And they could not give two shits that I'm doing that. They don't care. They could not give two shits about what we do to hopefully make this, fan base happier, to enjoy this team. They don't care. They don't care because that's not putting money in John Stanton's pocket. And because of that, the organization is a joke. It's just the way it is.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Deidara. Yeah, dude, I saw someone, I think it was No, said went to more games then. When the team is bad. Not to go back, take a couple steps backwards here. Do you think like the cost of going to games would go down if because we've seen the rise in like ticket prices, etc. Obviously, if there's less people buying tickets going to games, the prices would come down to try and get more people back into the seats. Like how like if we want a like sell type thing, Secular was talking about a little bit earlier, like the sell shirts in Oakland, the sell chants, whatever. Like the team's going to have to be bad again at some point. Like it's not going to work with a team that's winning 86 to 90 games every year. That's just not going to work, unfortunately. Like in my head, that's not how like fan bases will work because not all the fans of the team. There's casual fans out there that have no idea what's going on. To put it pretty bluntly, like they don't know what's happening around the entire league. They just know like when stuff happens, they go to the game like maybe once or twice a year and like they have a good time and that's it. They don't know that they missed out on trading for a guy that's going to rock the baby on opposing teams 30 times a year for a guy that had a 6+ ERA in 2024. They don't know that they missed out on trying to bring back that veteran presence in a very pivotal transition year from making the playoffs to then missing it. They didn't have that veteran leadership that probably had them come up short by whether or not guys were in the clubhouse or in like practice fields doing extra work to try and make sure that they're getting better. I'm not saying that like people like the players weren't trying hard, but like if there was not someone in Julio's ear like, bro, why are you hitting 200 with an OPS below your body weight in June? Like someone had to have been in his ear like, brother, you need to figure it out because like you are the engine. You are what makes this team go. They didn't have that in 2024. They didn't have that at the beginning of 2023 either. More than likely. I don't know like the full dynamic of the clubhouse, but it's like there's casual people out there that have no idea that the front office and the ownership group are literally just pointing and laughing at them.
Yeah.
I don't know where that was going.
I was saying, was there a question there?
No, I was just kind of yapping.
Oh, okay.
Someone said my filibuster was going for 6 minutes earlier. That one might have been worse just in terms of like nothing was said for about 3 minutes.
No, I think
nonsense.
that you're right. I think that, yeah, I mean, like people that I work with, they don't know anything about the team. And that's the thing is, I love to go to the game. Like, obviously now that I am, doing this and I care a little bit more. Yeah, I hate going to games and watching them win or lose, depending on what it is. But back in the day, I didn't care. I just like going to the game, you know what I mean? When I was not so much of a fan, I didn't care. I would just go to the game and enjoy being at the ballpark. And that's what I love. I think that is the objective reality of most baseball games, one way or another, no matter who wins or who loses. It's sick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that no matter what, you will always have people going to the game that honestly, even with how expensive it's getting, and sure, it's definitely cutting out a lot of people. There were times last year where, you would think it's supposed to be like a sold out game or something like that. And I was actually shocked at how few people there were. And that's because that's just so expensive. At the same time, sometimes I miss how empty it used to be in the stadium because we could just kind of go wherever we wanted to. You didn't have to fight crowds the whole time and stand in line for an hour and a half to get a Uncle Charlie's cheesesteak Joe. And I think that there's some merit to that. But at the same time, I don't foresee a future where the diehard fans that have supported this stupid franchise for so long just quit. People will continue to support this team, but unfortunately, it's all for naught until this team actually makes moves to make themselves better. And I don't foresee that happening anytime soon because I think that, again, for me, last year I was buying so many of just the worst possible seats and going and standing on the stairwell. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. Or if I could, as Keith just said, ride the light rail up, I would. It's a little bit more annoying because light rail's kind of far for me, but I
nothing light about it when you're on it. I'm waiting for the crash out. I'm trying to push your buttons again. Sorry.
And then I think about like I would go and I'd get like the value menu dogs or whatever. Like you could legitimately go to a game, and I made a video about this, I think. No, I haven't made it yet. You could get a game for redacted. Go to a game for redacted dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's for a later video, chat. Smile. I don't know, man. It just sucks. And I think that where we're at right now in this offseason, give it 2-3 weeks, maybe we'll be feeling better. But the fact that it has now been what was the last day of the season? It's probably been nearly 2 months now.
Whenever that big stream was, win the World Series, because that was when the Dodgers beat the Yankees.
Yeah.
Whenever
so it's
that
been
was.
At least 2 months. So I don't know. It's here we are. We're sitting here 4 days before Christmas, and it's rough, man. M's ever gonna get a World Series? Jeffrey with the $2 in our lifetime? No. They might go. They won't win.
On Halloween.
Was it? We did that on Halloween.
Maybe it was the day before Halloween.
Maybe
it was on the 30th. It was on the 30th,
okay.
I believe, because it rolled over into midnight, like the next day. It was on the 30th. So yeah, it's almost been 2 months.
Yeah. And we sit here as we get now I think it's 60 something days until might even be under 60 days now until spring training starts, Jeff. Under 60 days.
Really?
Yes. Let me look. I have a countdown app.
I know they posted like the 100 days to opening day thing with like Randy is like the player is part of the graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Castillo for Mayo, 1-for-1. Glaber, 3 years at 18 million AAV.
No.
Santander, 5 years, 20 million AAV. Greatly improved offense. It is a greatly improved offense. I don't think they have it. Truth be told, I think they only have enough money in there to sign one of the two players that you said. So I'd say Castillo for Mayo, sure. Say that's the trade they make, that's the trade they make, whatever. Then he's your everyday third baseman, or you attempt that. Or he's your platoon with Rayleigh at first base. Sure. And then you sign Santander to be the DH. Okay. And at that point, you still have a hole at second. So maybe you do Glaber instead. I'd rather... Glaber's a yikes for me.
He's ass.
Yeah.
He would not hit well in this ballpark.
Just sign Dustin Ackley. Let's bring back Danny Holtzen.
Yeah.
Jeff Clement.
I'm in. So here's something to maybe help everyone out here. Joe and I are going to potentially, we haven't really talked about this since it's still kind of very early on. We're going to do a live stream. Hopefully on the 31st on New Year's Eve, if we're available, maybe a day before or something like that. We'll see kind of how it plays out, but just keep your ears open. Where we're finally going to do member of the year chat. We normally do it at the end of the season. A, we just didn't, but B, I think myself thought the way the year ended, maybe it wasn't really time for us to do member of the year stuff. You know what I mean? People just, who wants that? Of the way the season ended and everyone was pissed off about this team. But a good way to ring in 2025, I think, will be a fun way to do member of the year. With that being said, we're going to do more than just, there's going to be one grand prize winner, and there'll be more information on the grand prize in the days to come. But there'll be one grand prize winner and then a bunch of other winners, just other things that we have to give away. There's going to be some, like, obviously Mariners gear. We'll have some old giveaways, some bobbleheads, etc. So we'll be giving all that away either on the 31st, maybe the 30th. We haven't nailed that out. Make sure you keep your eyes on socials for us, whether that be Twitter or Instagram at Mojo Mariner. And the plan there is to have throughout the live stream giveaways, and at the very end, one big one, like one big, like, major giveaway at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So to be entered in to do that, chat, you need to make sure that you are a member on December 30th. 31st.
Yeah, I think that if it doesn't work out on the 31st, I honestly think pushing it back into the new year might be better, so that way people are here.
True.
Like whatever, like as opposed to like the 31st, people are out doing stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like how many people would, not necessarily there wouldn't be people here, but how many people would actually be here. So maybe like that weekend into January, we'll like kind of decide. But basically that week, that like 7 to 10 days time span of like the last week going to the first week of the year, be a member, so that way you can,
as long as you're a member on the 31st, you will be entered into it. So if you do have your membership coming up, make sure you remember. Obviously, people that were gifted members, that works too. So if you guys want to enter more people in to win stuff, feel free to gift members. We won't complain. Smile, wink, smile, wink. But that is the plan. So if you guys are not membered, or you guys have a member that's coming up to expiring, make sure you guys remember or become members if you do want to be entered into those giveaways. Yeah, and that's going to be kind of the plan, just to hopefully set this off season on the right track, because right now we are all in shambles. Everything sucks, and the Mariners make me sad every day of my miserable existence. So that's my 2 cents there.
I'm gonna give you some 2 cents. Whoa, Dangus, gifting 10. Keeg, Jay, Roscoe, Caden, Danny P, Kevin, Wiseman, Reluctive, DB, Okio. Is that 10? That's 10. Is that also true to the Trident?
True to the Trident's in here now?
Jeffrey needs to calm down.
Who's Jeffrey?
Whomst be Jeff?
Am I Jeffrey? Who's Jeffrey? Dude, Mason, appreciate that. 10 gifted. Look at that, chat. Can we get a big smooches, bro, for Mason in the chat, who just entered all of those people in to our member of the year drawing? Big smooches, bro, to Mason. Mason, legend, bro, legend. But yeah, so that's gonna be the plan, chat. We'll do the member of the year giveaway finally. Obviously, it's a little better late than never, right, chat? Smile, smile, smile.
Yeah.
It's something I've been thinking about for a while now, and I figured the best way to do it would just be actual end of the year instead of end of the season.
Yeah.
Also, everyone will only have 1 entry. We're not going to do the thing this year where we have, some people have a ton of entries. It just gets too messy with people who just maybe haven't been here long enough. I want to make sure everyone has a fair shot here, and it just gets way too messy when it comes to someone's been here for 21 months and someone's been here for 1 because they just found the channel. It's just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we're going to do it this year. If you have any problems with that, please direct them to Joe on Twitter. That is, what's your Twitter at? It's at Lanjo.
I think with 3 E's, as Lucario likes to make fun of. It's at LANJOEE. Oh, it's just 2 E's. 2 E's, not 3. Just an extra E there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, direct all your complaints to me. I definitely check them all the time. I will say, I think maybe into January could be also good, because then our free gifties, the 10 that we get, will have reset. That way we can enter 10 people in by then, right?
Yeah, I'm in.
Something like that. So it's a possibility.
I think that, yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out, I guess. I think that one thing I think would be fun to do is kind of go over our year in review. Yeah. I don't know if you've looked at it, Joe, but I looked at our stats and stuff today in terms of 2024. There's some very interesting numbers in there in terms of how we did. Did you know? Let me just pull back the curtain here, Joe. Did you know that we got 1 million less views this year?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you it's the Griffey short.
It's the Griffey short.
The Griffey short that's pushing 900,000 views.
But we still got about, well, obviously the month's not over yet, but we still got, I think 2 to 300,000 less views on videos. Actual uploaded videos.
Interesting.
But we made almost double the money this year.
That's all thanks to the community.
It's all thanks to the community. That's right, chat.
You guys are the goats.
Right. Yeah, I just really throw that information at you.
I appreciate that. Just live
in front of 200 people.
Everyone cares about it, surely. Everyone must be like, wow, this is riveting information. Keeg earlier said, getting bored, someone do a backflip. I wonder how he's feeling now. I mean, he just got gifted a member. He's got to be on cloud 9, but dying channel, true. Imagine getting called broke by your co-host. That's crazy.
What do you mean we made more money this year? What do you mean we're broke?
I'm just kidding. That's a joke from that's a joke from Waldo Springtime's stream today. You wouldn't know, you weren't there.
Yeah, some of us actually have to work. So
idiot.
Some of us have jobs, buddy.
That's crazy.
Try it.
That's crazy. The F. John Scampton. That's gorgeous. Neon sign. I mean,
it'd go hard.
It's possible. Just what needs to happen is there needs to be a normal setup and then a full after dark setup. That's where we just completely change the dynamic and like how things are done and just completely rip into it more. That could be fun, but
It could be fun. Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about an idea of an actor essentially on the channel, like me method acting as a Doomer fan for videos, and have it be like not Joe but like a different name personality, first name being John more than likely, for next year just for fun. See if there's something there.
Sustis Jeff Field, by the way.
Sustius. I would say Sustius. I understand that his name is Justice, but the I there just like is so enticing to say Sustius. It feels
That's
like
true.
ancient, like a Greek god or something, like a Greek
Sustius?
person. Yeah, it just feels right.
Huh. That's fair. I don't disagree with that. What else you want to talk about?
I don't know. How was your day at work?
Sucked.
Dude, saw it sucked. What was worse? What was worse? Your day at work, or the fact that the Mariners didn't make that trade for Josh Naylor given the cost? Okay,
Joe,
hold on. Let me turn you down before you do that and burst everyone's eardrums. Go ahead.
Joe, I got the notification about that while I was at work. So all of it is together. So which one was worse, you say, when it all happened at the same time?
Colton's mad, chat. Colton's mad.
I hate the Mariners, Joe. Let's become Twitch streamers and shake our bodies.
I don't know if we'd get many people tuning into that.
Onlyfats.com.
Oh my god. George Azaria.
George.
Also, I don't know if we said Micah's name when he said Sussius.
Oh, Micah, sorry.
We might have been a little focused on what you typed. Appreciate your member for 5 months. George Azaria. How far in was the first Vogelbach mention? Truth be told, I don't think that was the first
3 minutes.
That was the first one that he said. In chat, I don't know. People were saying it. I saw
honestly,
like a lot less than I expected. Like, as someone who's known as the Vogelbach guy, it's kind of embarrassing.
Honestly,
Russell Branyan got name dropped before Daniel Vogelbach.
That's true. Better player, but also, honestly, dude,
you bringing Vogie back?
I'm in, dude. I mean, he was in my offseason plan, which if you guys haven't watched us do our offseason plan with Colbert himself.
Yeah, who's Jeffrey? Like, what was that?
I still don't know who Jeffrey is. Does he mean Jeff the Land Shark? And was it Ty?
And was it about Marvel Rivals? It could have been that. Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. It's insane.
Okay, he's still here.
Oh, hey, Colby. I pitched, if you guys haven't seen that video, I pitched the greatest trade of all time at the end of that video after I said the Mariners should re-sign Daniel Vogelbach to a minor league contract. So if you guys know what's good for you, I'd watch it.
It'd also help us. So
it would also help us. Yeah, please watch it. It didn't get very many views.
God, it's all Colby's fault.
Fred Albertsons is still available. It's true, Colby.
What's his actual name?
Halverson is his last name.
Seth Halverson.
That's his first name. Seth, yeah. Halverson.
Yeah.
We went to school with the Halverson.
That's news to me.
Not gonna dox that person. But I almost did. Oh, you're talking about Jeffrey's super chat from earlier. Oh, Jeffrey Drummond.
You guys are much better streamers than
I'm just saying. Jeffrey still got top D of the day. I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys,
I think his name's John. It's John Drummond.
Oh,
are you good?
Oh, he's talking about Jeffrey Thistle. Oh, they all start with J. Jeffrey Thistle, who said M's ever going to get a World Series.
Right. Of course.
That's what it was. That's what it was. And Jeff needs to calm down. Probably not, Jeff.
That's super Jeff.
That's super Jeff. Top D is crazy.
Well,
my point still stands. That our boy John still has top D of the day. Are you guys going to let that happen? A guy named John, who literally, by the way, John is the name of John Stanton. Okay? Just so we're clear, John is the name of John Stanton, and right now, John Drummond has the top donation of $20. Even John, okay, Stanton / Drummond is donating. Out donating you guys. I don't know. I'm a shill. Give us money. See that? That's how you do it, Joe.
I don't know if that's how that's done, but Prima hit you with the fishing like immediately. Yeah, reel that sucker in.
Catch a couple bucks here. Listen, all right, we're just trying to.
Should we get out of here before you embarrass yourself even more?
It's all coming together. It's all John's can spend money. Who knew? There it is. See, I knew it would work, Mason.
You're just
20.
You're just like guilting our friends, like our IRL friends, to give us money.
I scammed our IRL friend Mason for the $20.01. Easy, Mason. Appreciate the new top dono of the day. $20 and a penny. You just earned yourself 5 more minutes of stream.
Wow.
It's now a money-a-thon.
Realistically, what's the package look like for Devers?
Man.
Realistically, mean, it starts with the better end of the starting pitching.
So you're starting with Logan Gilbert.
Or yeah, Logan or George starts it.
Maybe both.
No, not both. one or the other, probably. I mean, if they want Miller or Wu instead, yeah. It has to be one of those guys, and then you probably have to give up, I mean, Ben Williamson or Tyler Locklear to offset some positional depth there for them. Someone in the top 5, another one in the top 10. Like, it would take a lot, because Devers he got that big contract for a reason. Yep. Now, what's a trade package for J-Ram? More expensive, I think, than Devers, because how much less money is tied into J-Ram.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not less. I don't know.
$19 million a year.
Yeah, I don't. Would it be less? Probably. It would be. Would it be less?
Who's the better player?
Who's the better player? Who do you have for less time?
You want my opinion?
J-Ram's the better player.
J-Ram's the better player.
Much better than Devers. J-Ram's the best third baseman in all of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that trade package starts with Logan Gilbert or George Kirby. I don't know how much longer you'd have J-Ram for. 3 years?
Help me feel better about this organization. Yeti, I'm sorry, buddy. You came to the wrong
Yeti, you're going to need one of these things that Colton and I have in our hands, okay? Unless you're under the age of 21. Unless you're under the age of 21, then this is clearly water. This is clearly water.
Ow.
Yeti, good for you.
Honestly, I'm good for you, Yeti.
Good for you, Yeti. We apologize for our lapse of judgment and recommending that to a stranger.
Got a man crush on Jose Ramirez, dude. If I could have one player, it's him. It's him. Like, if I could have one player in baseball right now, like if I was to start a dynasty, how many years actually is on this contract? Let's see.
I think the graphic that was posted the other day with all the biggest contracts, it was 5 years, 124 million.
Like left, or that was what he signed for?
I think that's what it was.
Oh, you're talking about that one that I was talking about the other day that was like the last time the biggest contract was signed. It was 7 years, 141 million. Jesus.
Still steal.
You'd have him through 2028. It's also, interestingly enough, this is interesting. It's backloaded.
Oh.
So he's making 19 this year, 21 next year, 23 in 2027, and 25 in 2028.
How old is he?
He will be 35 at the end of the contract, so he's 32 right now. Interesting.
Paying a 35-year-old
$25 million.
That's a decent amount.
Kyle Jones with the Julio Rodriguez emote there.
Heck yeah.
Ayo!
Getting one of those from me. Where'd they go?
Yeah, I would obviously love to have either of those guys. It would never happen. I don't know, like when it comes to where the Mariners are at right now, what are your priorities, Joe? First, second, third base in order, most important to least.
Third base most important, then first base, and then second base. Because like second base, or either one, either third or second is the number one, and whichever one you go with then becomes the third one, because you just have Dylan Moore, Ryan Bliss fill that out for whatever. Because that'll be fine. That will probably be fine if you need to just roll them out there. until Cole Young's ready or whatever comes along at the deadline. If you find that Brandon Lau's available and you can make that trade happen, like, I don't know, dude. But after that, I think first base is the easy second option because of what is like left over for like roster composition, unless you're just giving it to Tyler Locklear, unless that's just like what your plan is. Now, given that Carlos Santana got paid $12 million, like that is what it is.
I mean,
it also depends if you trade Castillo. Like if you trade Castillo,
right,
then it's starting pitching. Like pitching becomes the second thing there after one of the positions, in my opinion. But unless you get like there's so many like little moves or little things that like could change the trajectory of this offseason so quickly if one thing falls the Mariners' way. It's just everything like they are like repelling any good news, it seems like.
And that's how it felt last offseason too, like up until this point. I think that I don't necessarily agree. Can I be completely honest with you? And this might sound crazy. I would be okay. Oh God.
Clip it, chat. Get the clips ready, chat.
I would be okay if the Seattle Mariners traded a starting pitcher and got obviously good players in return that fill out second and maybe third or first base. Okay. I would be okay if they traded one of their starting pitchers and then rolled with like Logan Evans as their 5.
You're flip-flopping. You've said all offseason that is unacceptable. Is it because like the tone has changed?
Unfortunately, it's just the way the offseason's going. I think that if you I would rather have a guy start 31 games. I would rather have Logan Evans start 31 games over the next calendar year. Yeah, Hancock's ass, Mason. I would rather have Logan Evans start 31 games over the next calendar year than have Dylan Moore and Ryan Bliss split time at second base. I would for 162 games. Sue me.
I will.
You can't.
Channel's mine.
I think that I personally believe in the Mariners pitching like lab in being able to create the next, Brian Wu or Bryce Miller a hell of a lot more than I believe in their ability to go out there and sign a free agent that is going to actually impact this team offensively. That's my take. I truly believe that this team can create the next Bryce Miller or Brian Wu before they can go out there and sign somebody for impact. And they're going to have to trade to get impact. And there are no teams that are looking to get prospects right now because everybody thinks that they are in the playoffs next year.
Do you think that like signing a starting pitcher, if they trade Castillo, whatever, sign like for a bat and then they sign a starting pitcher, would be something that you'd be interested in or no?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it obviously depends on what you've done to fill out the rest of the roster. Depends on the bat that you got back in this trade.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say theoretically they traded Brian Wu or something like that.
No, I think you have to go with well, it just depends. Like if you get money back, I get where you're going. Oh, sorry, I'll let you finish your thought. Brian Wu.
Yeah, it depends on the package. Like there's so many moving parts to it. It depends on the package. But in this scenario, we're trading Brian Wu. You get back a guy who can be your everyday second baseman and then a platoon first baseman to platoon with Luke Raley. Cool. Okay. Now you have, third base. You can put Dylan Moore or whatever over there. If that's their plan, they want to have Dylan Moore, Ryan Bliss platoon somewhere at either second or third. If that's their plan, great. I would feel comfortable with the Mariners using the $16 million they have to go out there and then sign a starting pitcher of some caliber that is going to be able to eat innings for you, if nothing else, and put up a high 3 to low 4 ERA. And then if you have to pull up Brandon Garcia or you have to pull up Logan Evans halfway through the season, do it. They're not nothing. Aaron with the $9.99 first super chat ever on the live stream. Aaron, appreciate that $9.99.
No
Absolute
message.
Legend. No
Just
message
vibes.
either. Yeah. Appreciate that, Aaron. Yeah, dude. People are so kind. Catching up to Mason. Guys, you really gonna let someone named
Can you stop? You need to stop. Brother
You're
needs
really gonna
to
let
stop.
someone named the Dingus be top D chat? Come on.
Should I mute him? I
don't know.
mute you.
I I think that I truly believe that if they were to go out there and sign someone, I think that Logan Evans, Brandon Garcia, Michael Morales, I feel like these guys could be a part of the rotation as soon as next year. Now, of course, that could happen anyway due to injury. And if you go out there and trade one of the starting pitchers, you're an injury away from things, basically going really sideways. But truly, I do believe that is the move.
Jeff Knack. Hello, sir. So, for that trade specifically that you're looking at to the Rockies, Brenton Doyle, great player, great defender. I don't know if there's room for him in the outfield necessarily with what the Mariners have, unless you just make Randy full-time DH. Obviously, Tovar is an interesting guy. Lots of strikeouts. Good player, though. McMahon, it'd be hard because of the contract. Vodnik in the back end of the bullpen. He's part of my offseason plan. I like Victor Vodnik quite a bit. But
Michael Z is spitting.
Brother is spitting right now. Yeah, I think trading Lazaro Montes and Fallon Celston plus for anybody on the Rockies not named, I think Tovar is probably the only one that I would consider it for, realistically. Brenton Doyle, unless, Brenton Doyle maybe, on the idea that, yes, he's going to be a great defensive outfielder with a pretty solid bat for a while. Sure. Yeah, the prospect hugging is, the big thing. Regardless of, the destination that you're choosing, Jeff, it's just that feels so... they're not all going to play at the same time. They're not all going to pan out. So we got to make some moves eventually, if that makes sense. Ty wasn't invited to the kegger. Truth be told, until about 4:30, didn't think we'd be hosting an intergalactic kegger. So
yeah, until the Naylor trade.
Yeah. More sugar. Your skin's hanging off your face.
I don't get it. Anyway,
you don't know Men in Black? Come on.
No, I haven't watched a 25-year-old movie recently.
I'm sorry that it came out in the best year ever in human history, 1997. Great year. You know why it's the greatest year? Isn't that the year? Did Griffey win the MVP in 97? Please tell me he won the MVP in 97. I swear to God.
So I believe he did.
Best year, chat. Best year. Also, someone was born. Best year.
Our top D, by the way, Mason Harris. I think that opinion on Yoan Moncada for cheap. No.
But why not though?
Because he's ass.
Yeah, but would you rather than do nothing? Is it you're gonna roll with Austin Shenton and nobody else
over Yoan Moncada? No, I'm gonna roll with whoever they get at second base and move Dylan Moore and Ryan Bliss at third base. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I would rather have Ryan Bliss and Dylan Moore at third base than Yoan Moncada.
Well, of course. Then who's playing second? Cole Young?
Whoever they go get.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever they add to this roster, rather than do that. Yoan Moncada and his 30% strikeout rate can stay as far away as possible. We already have a 30% strikeout rate. His name is Dylan Moore.
His name is Kyle. Sorry.
I don't need right-handed Dylan Moore on this team and Yoan Moncada. I'm good.
Ooh. I'm good. Austin Shenton had a better OPS than half our team last year. Onzilla, I need this desperately.
Played Jag.
No, I need an Austin Shenton hyper velocity edit to hit the TikTok. I needed to hit my For You page immediately, Onzilla. Immediately. That's my request. Dude had a 4.28 ERA in Colorado. Might as well be a 1.5. Talking about Vodnik, that's my goat.
You mean Seth Halverson?
No, Vodnik better. Halverson probably better, but Victor Vodnik's got a cooler name. Aura. Just straight aura.
But I need Seth Halverson to come to the Mariners because then Colby has to deal with it.
I'm sorry. Okay. Michael, I don't want to call you out, Michael Z. Was that the guy you were preaching about the Tristan Cassis trade? Is that who that was? Because if it stops at the McNeil name there, Michael Z, You may have lost some good graces. Super versatile guy with high upside. I get that he was the batting champion a couple years ago. No. McNeil, no.
Would I make that trade 5 years ago? Sure. Not today.
I think you need McNeil and then another piece for Castillo. Maybe not. It's not going to be a Mark Vientos. It has to be better than Brett. It has to be somewhere between Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos, which is a kind of wide range.
Nope.
But
it needs to be a lot closer to Mark Vientos on that scale than to Brett Beatty.
Sure. I'd say Chris Bryant earlier too. You are Colby Patnode's worst nightmare.
Yes, actually. Hang on, I like this guy. Ugh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good on Jeff McNeil. Yeah, read it has to be Justin Turner. I just don't know like who else there is to go out and get. Again, not Spencer Steer. He's ass. I don't want Spencer Steer on my baseball team at all. Like
Josh Bell. Is he cheaper than Justin Turner?
Yes.
I wouldn't hate it. Is he? But he's a switch hitter, right?
Yes.
He's gonna crush right-handed batters or right-handed pitchers.
16 me would have read that Josh Bell thing and been so mad just because of what he did to me in MLB The Show years and years and years ago.
Splits aren't terrible. Ugh. He's got a 734 OPS in 2024 against right-handed pitching, a 705 OPS against left-handed pitching. That was last year. I mean, he was worth negative WAR. He's on the Dante Bichette hype with like being only good at the plate as like his best value. Career splits 798. Yeah. 798 OPS against righties, 770 against lefties. Bell, if he's cheaper than Justin Turner, whatever, dude. Whatever it takes. Is Air Bud available?
Yes.
Make that a Netflix documentary. Ooh, a Netflix documentary about Tucker? Could you imagine?
That'd be so cool.
That would hit.
Honestly, let Tucker play.
Yeah.
Let Tucker play second. I'm in. I'm so in. Go out and get Anthony Rizzo. We have Anthony Rizzo at home. His name is Luke Ridley. He's better.
He's better than Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah. Might be able to get Jake Berger from the Rangers.
Michael, unfortunately, the Marlins already sold Berger to the Rangers for like spare parts. Like nothing of value as far as what the Rangers got back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Colton and Joe.
Maybe don't finish reading that message.
Yeah, let's, you know what? Good stream, chat. Good stream.
This is a good one. Appreciate everyone for coming out, talking about the Mariners' first base problems and their unspoken, and their incompetences. Obviously, shout out to everyone just who was here, just vibing, having a good time. John, obviously, with the 20 to kick off the stream. Jack, $2. Lucario with a bunch of $2. Jeff with $2 in there. Mason, obviously, with 20. Arid got a
2001.
2001. My apologies. Arid got a 999er in there. All the members, Lucario for 20 months, Austin for 14, Mason gifting 10, Micah for 5, Azaria for 7, Onzilla again for 9. Very cool. You guys are great. Heart eye emoji. As Keek said, type shit. I agree. Type shit.
Have you guys watched my Josh Naylor video today?
No, it was the We Suck video today.
Oh, that's right. Hey guys, watch my We Suck video, which also is out of date. I've posted 2 videos in 2 days, and both of them are out of date. So
you're cooking, bro.
Josh Naylor yesterday, and then the We Suck video is out of date because the Astros went and got Christian Walker. Woo! But hey, if you haven't, make sure you guys go watch it because you like us. Smile.
Dude, Deidar is such a bitch.
I hate it. All right, chat. Appreciate you guys being here. We will be back again, hopefully before the end of the year with a big move. So fingers crossed. But appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you guys later, and good night.